MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
Travis, is it your birthday?
No, it's not my birthday. It's my buddy Felix's. The prick. Hey, I got song sheets for everybody. Here we go. Pass this down now.
Where is Felix?
He'll be here. He called.
When did he call?
Earlier.
When earlier?
Before you got here, Phil. Before, any of you got here. You weren't with me the whole day.
Welcome back, everyone, once again to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. Now, today is an exciting day for all you comedy fans out there because we are taking a look at Highball, which is not a documentary about the time I tried to get one of my testicles stoned, but is actually a movie that was disowned by none other than Noah Baumbach himself, master of classics, where a bunch of white people talk about how unhappy they are, including Marriage Story, Greenberg, and Birth of a Nation. Now, we know Noah for his cheeky little dramedy types, you know, Greta Gerwig and him teaming up and making some zippy little one-liners. And this movie, apparently, was shot in 6 days. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Sound familiar?
Yeah. Because
I came to warn you.
How did you even find me? You're an idiot.
I know. But haven't you been listening to me? If I want to find my brother in the middle of a city I've never even been to before to save his life from new, even crazier looking sharks, and that's what I write into the plot.
we took 3 times as long. Yeah, we took almost 4 times. Oh.
So, Noah did a movie called Mr. Jealousy. Hey, Jealousy. Mr. Jealousy.
I think so.
Jealousy is in the title for sure. We do our research here.
So you're Vince. You're the one getting married. You're the one who wishes his fiancée be more open about different sexual positions.
Oh, Vince.
Ramona. Shut up for a minute.
How could you do this to
Ramona, did you know
me?
that
Vince,
this...
you suck.
Listen, you did. When we were together, you did.
Perhaps we should all go back inside.
You son of a bitch.
And with leftover money from that movie, and in those 6 days, he shot Highball, and then famously disavowed it. His name is not on the, actually, on the credits it pops up as directed by Noah Baumbach. On the back of here it says Ernie
there is a
Riscos or something, clearly a pseudonym. Or no, I'm sorry, I think maybe someone else that worked on the film, but apparently the story was that he's quoted as saying, this was too ambitious of a project, it was a funny script, but we didn't have enough time to get it done, it didn't look proper, it was kind of a mess. I didn't have enough time to go back in and get the couple extra days I needed. I had a falling out with the producer.
Why did you make us watch it then?
Hey, no worries.
Eventually, it was apparently released without his permission. But starting off, you guys, with all that, I have to say, I think it was kind of the right decision to release it. And I'm going to start off, even before I get into the synopsis, which is very easy. I want to say, do you guys agree? Did you think this was a fun watch, or what? Or just give me the quick answer, because we'll, of course, get into it. But I feel like it was right to actually release this.
No.
No?
It kind of made me yearn for doing drugs in an awkward setting.
You don't think it should have been released?
I don't know, man. Should anything be released?
Give me yes or no.
I said no.
Okay.
Now I'm saying maybe.
Mateo?
It's clearly yes. It definitely, let's say, needs some work. But it's an interesting exercise in style, if you will.
Yes.
Made clearly, it's you see there is. I guess that half of it probably was not exactly improvised, but since there were these just say long takes with no cuts or close-ups or something, I guess that they were just like going for. I assume that it was shot in a real apartment.
Yeah. All right, easy, Tiger. We'll get into it. Chopping my head off here. The jaws of death.
Hey,
So we're going to get into all that.
No.
We're going to get into all that.
Is that what we're doing?
Apparently my brother doesn't think this movie should have happened.
I didn't say that.
Which is surprising.
I didn't say that.
I heard
Answer
some laughs out of you.
and
Now here's the reason why I'm so enthralled about this is because I feel like this is a really great lesson in independent filmmaking because...
You should never do it.
Yes.
Great.
You should never try to make a movie. It's horrible, and then people on Letterboxd will trash you not knowing how much it tears up your hypersensitive soul.
They say bad things.
You know? They think just because we made a movie, we're like, we'll put ourselves into the public arena. Our feelings can't be hurt. We understand it's the game. No, man, it all hurts. Seth Rogen just talked about this. And we all know how much the common people love Seth Rogen. Now, here's why I think this is enthralling. I think this is a great lesson in that if you have tight writing and great actors who know what they're supposed to do and they're steering the ship, that I don't want to say the other stuff doesn't matter. And yes, we can talk about how the, similar to, on a different level, but Clerks-esque, the low-budget motif and the places it takes place in kind of adds to the style, adds to the overall vibe. But I think that it didn't really matter. Noah talked about the messiness of it. It didn't matter that thing because the performances, the lines, and the comedy was so razor sharp.
Miles, is Darian really gay?
Gay as a heart attack.
Now, there's one thing that this movie made me think of in its pacing, and it's when you can always sense, like animal fear, when you're watching a stand-up comedian and you know they're afraid, the audience, even if they're not a seasoned comedy audience, they can sense the fear. It's very animalistic. And one of the things I always find beautiful, because I've understood being in that position how much nervous you can be and like fill the space, when a comedian is willing to say something, take a breath. Let the silence go. Hold on, we're taking a second before I get to the next one. I'm in control here.
So in the end, whatever it is, whether it's 3 dates or 7 dates, you're still irritated, still annoyed, still frustrated, still hating the whole experience all the way through. And now my point here is my point. I got off that whole thing about the number. Oh, damn it.
I'm okay with silence on stage. I learned very quickly that's a true thing, having mastery control, and not be afraid of the silence.
You should do more of that, actually.
I feel like the long pauses here are indicative of, hey, I know what the style is, I know what the humor is, I know what I'm showing with these characters. I'm going to take my time to breathe like a comedian on stage. I don't mind if there's these little pauses because I know where we're going.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Before I start avoiding you, I thought we ought to speak.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, there's some unfinished business here between the two of us.
Diane, really, look, I'm fine with everything.
Wow. How amnesiac of you.
I was actually very impressed with the comedic language. I thought every actor was on point. Reminded me of some of my favorite stuff growing up, the back and forth and wacky absurdities of Kids in the Hall, for instance. So let's get into the micro plot, which will take about 5 seconds, and then we'll talk about all of that and how you guys thought it reflected on the language and mechanics of comedy.
And then we can be done?
Yeah. And then we'll eat some pizza and go back to sitting there and doing whatever you do in your miserable, pathetic fucking life. So, here's the plot. 1 year, 1 couple, 3 parties, Felix's birthday, who's one of their friends, Halloween, and New Year's. Over the course of a year, we see things happen with the main couple. They break up, they get back together, and we see what happens in the various characters' lives throughout those parties. That's about it. The rest is left up to the wacky, absurd back and forths of our characters. Very character-based, and going on Matthew's comment of being in a small little room doing drugs with your friends, very indicative of how a lot of us spend our free, beloved time. Come over to my little apartment, a couple of beloved friends, some drinks, a little back and forth, maybe a little drama, and in the end we all fall asleep. I'll talk about how much I adore the closing shot. But, obviously, the old motor mouth has been rapidy, so I want to get more into how you guys felt about it, starting with you, because I'm intrigued by, were you not that into it? Did you not see the comedic vision? I heard you laugh a couple times. Matthew, go ahead and tell us.
What was the question?
What?
It was, well, it was all right.
You don't seem to be.
No, it's just
you pick up on the language. I thought,
no, of course,
as
of
a
course,
comedy
of course,
student,
of course.
this was very enthralling to me just to see how something so low key At times, yes, genuinely poorly lit. Not all the times, but at times worse than others. Like you talked about the one shot where the light looks like it's on the ground.
The one shot?
But I was very...
They had full-on Peter Pan shadows behind every single character.
That's right. The shadows were pretty bad. But again, I genuinely don't think that took me out, and I'm fascinated by the fact that the comedy...
I get what this is, and it's good.
You didn't think it was inspiring that if you have actors and a sense of comedy that knows what you're... To me, I thought this was the blueprint for us. If we can get our MaJaMa down working like this, we don't have to worry about being stuck with possibly lower budget aesthetics now, because you can have the comedy machine.
Aside from the cast being... everyone's recognizable. I cannot tell
yeah,
where
we got to get into the
they're
cast.
from. Either they're just much younger than I know them now, or they just look like someone else. But I'm sure they're. I know
Felix
I
and Miles. This whole movie, my brain
Travis
was
too, isn't he
screaming
the-
at me. Travis, a little. Well, like you said, kind of everybody is like that little. You know him, but Miles and Felix were just slapping me the whole time. Like, you know them exactly from somewhere. I googled both, checked the IMDb. A lot
Miles
of recognizable.
belong here?
Yeah, a lot of recognizable movies, but nothing that popped up except Miles with the long hair. A couple years later, we watched it for like 10 seconds. We were interested because we always wanted to make a grocery script. 10 items or less.
Morgan Freeman.
10 items or less. A grocery-based comedy, very improv-based, which makes me think similar styles.
What brings you here, Amy? What can I do for you?
So this is awkward. Your father never spoke to you about the sale of the store.
No, he did not.
Morgan Freeman.
No.
Oh, shit.
Lee! Can you not do that?
Sorry, I was just...
Watching. I know, I saw you coming.
Is this bothering you? I mean, am I bothering you standing here?
You are 3 feet from my face.
Oh, sorry.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
Hey, Philly cheesesteak.
Diane, you look nice.
I'm a whore. Are you Hitler?
No, of course not. I just put on a mustache. I'll.
So what do you think? You think that you get what I'm saying,
no,
but you're kind of
yes.
nonplussed?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Do you think it wasn't worth watching?
Yeah, no.
So it was worth watching, or was it?
It was.
Ow! What did you do?
Charlie Horse. I don't know. It was fine.
Do you understand what I am saying?
Like I said, I see the mechanics at work, but all the cogs and springs are just way too exposed.
Really?
Pun intended. For it to be, it felt like a stage play.
Very much so.
This would be a great
Very
stage
much
play.
so.
Doing a stage play, but there's really no purpose whatsoever to this thing where you encapsulate this amount of time and tell, hey, we're going to tell this story about this. Like, you don't know anything. So it was just people talking in a room, and I think all the actors were great and knew their characters, knew the dialogue well, but I don't think it was like tit for tat snapping back and forth. But I think that comes down to the production, how much time you have to rehearse, how much time you have to plan, how much time you have to block. But nothing in this was so reprehensible, effervescent.
Talking about the good or bad adjective?
Good.
Effervescent?
Sure. That's the Alka-Seltzer?
Yes.
Tablets, yeah.
Oh, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, oh, what a relief it is.
I should, sorry, before we continue, I should say that I actually brought this to the MaJaMa table. A buddy of mine in high school showed it to me, kind of pitching like, hey, this is a movie that, they made with the scraps, shot it quick. I brought it up because I remember laughing and enjoying it, and when I watched it, the two parts I was like, okay, I totally remember that are, one, Ray Don Chong pulls off the head of the wrong lizard and cracks up.
Oh. You're the wrong lizard.
because I remember my friend was saying, yeah, I don't know if she's that good of an actress. I think that might have been a genuine response. She didn't know who was going to be under there, which I thought was interesting.
Damn, Joe Fakiti was taking shots at Rae Dawn Chong?
He was. And it's funny because these are the things, like, this is so clear. And the second thing, because I also fucking cracked up, is he's trying to tell him that his friend is not gay. And he says,
Let me spell it out for you. Darian is N-O-T-H-E-T-E-R-O.
No Thoreau.
No, not N-O-T. Darian's gay.
Yeah, of course.
What?
those two moments I incredibly remembered from my first watch. The rest was a little this and that. But I'm going to put you on pause for a second. I'm going to see what Mateo over here.
Stay on pause.
He's actually worked in comedy, unlike you. What are you doing working at a fucking food store, you fucking loser?
Just make me sit here and then berate me for not having anything to say.
So, Mateo, what did you think about the comedy mechanics I'm talking about? You saw them, but you were kind of not dazzled like Matthew, or what are you thinking?
This is just like exclusively a personal taste. I genuinely loathe comedies where it's just like talking heads, because comedy should be, if you give me talking heads, it has to be a machine gun dialogue. We watched recently Singing in the Rain, which is anything but talking heads, but there were the dialogues were just like wide shot, and everybody was on time, on almost artificial. Granted.
What's the matter, R.F.?
The jazz singer. That's what's the matter, the jazz singer.
Oh, my darling little mammy, down in Alabama. My little baby.
No, this is no joke, Cosmo. It's a sensation. The public is screaming for more.
More what?
Talking pictures, talking pictures.
Oh, it's just a freak.
Yeah, what a freak. We should have such a freak at this studio. I told you talking pictures were a menace, but no one would listen to me. Don, we're going to put our best feet forward. We're going to make the dueling cavalier into a talking picture.
Talking picture? Well, that means I'm out of a job. At last I can start suffering and write that symphony.
You're not out of a job. We're putting you in as head of the new music department.
Well, thanks, R.F. At last I can stop suffering and write that symphony.
I was about to make a why do you like Kevin Smith movies joke, but then you said the rapid-fire dialogue, so I guess touche.
And the thing is that I'm impressed that they were actually able to put it together as it is, because it is a movie that looks like a movie and sounds like a movie, and it has amusing moments.
Yeah, right?
I'm also always very, how can I say, leery when there are conflicts in production. I mean, it says, oh no, let's put it out no matter what, because I think that you do more of a disservice of the
shit.
I would have seen this one also because it's fairly short. Is you say 118 minutes?
119 to be exact.
Okay.
119:23 to be exact.
Nice.
I made that up.
Oh.
Okay.
Drammer.
I would have seen this one as a kind of like a supplementary material of a much, let's say, fuller movie.
Would you not have released it? I'm intrigued by this, because I'm happy this is released personally.
I wouldn't if the director told me, no, this is an unfinished movie.
Oh, God, what a prick.
I accept, relatively speaking, movies released without the consensus of the director, not the consensus,
Consent.
the consent of the director. If there is something like the movie is unfinished because one of the stars passed away, the director passed away, or something like that. So it becomes like this is what it could have been.
You know, I just drew a parallel to the third season of Chappelle's Show. Chappelle was gone. They had some of it filmed. He didn't want it on the air at all. They were I mean, I don't know if this was like a scramble to be like, I guess Noah became a name, but it was like, what, 1 or 2 episodes, a couple skits. Dave was completely against it, and they just put it up anyway.
Fuck him!
Although it sounded like Noah, I mean, it was just a quote. I don't know if it was disdainful. He said they released without my permission. I don't know. I feel like I don't get the sense, other than the very rough production values, which if you're of a certain ilk of film nerd, you've seen to varying degrees. But I don't get the unfinished feel, especially with that closing shot.
Cheers to you.
My husband, everyone!
We spend the whole movie in the one apartment, as Mateo said, and the one character, Travis, is brewing his own homemade beer and is obsessed with making a bar out of his linen closet. He kind of spends the first couple parties in there.
Fucking linen closet.
And by the end of the movie, everyone has gathered on New Year's in his linen closet bar. And to me, that really was cozy. It was a human moment. It represents friendship, and it was a nice cap to the movie. I would disagree that this comes across as unfinished.
I would have liked to see why everyone was in there. Gradually, throughout the night, you have more and more people.
They warm up to. They all want to.
Yes,
and
the fun of the broom closet, linen closet.
Great ending shot, though.
Yes, but I think
had you not had that ending shot and just kind of like faded out from the party, I might have been.
No,
that to me,
done. Yeah, something to congeal the entire cast. But I think if you had the surprise left for just Travis, not the audience, that everyone's in the linen closet, it would have been much more effective. Like you have them kind of.
Yeah, right.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
Lizard pig?
Let's talk about our cast before we get any further, because we have some recognizable names here. Our co-writer and director is a character in the movie, Noah Baumbach, who, again, I knew of as a director, but I don't think I've seen on screen much. He is our business suit Hitler mustache wearing... Phil, thank you. We have our two celebs played as celebs, playing themselves, played for, to me, some of the funniest laughs. They keep saying their full name. Ali Sheedy and Ray Don Chong.
Ali Sheedy, of course, from...
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit,
for instance.
What are you afraid of? What's the matter with you?
Nova Robotics. Disassemble. Dead. Disassemble number 5. Dead.
But you can't die. You're a machine.
No.
No, you're not a machine?
Yes.
Yes, you are, or yes, you're not?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, not.
Talk about a malfunction.
Not malfunction, Stephanie. Number 5 is alive.
The Breakfast Club?
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, because I feel like any answer that isn't The Breakfast Club is a true but funny answer. And Ray Don Chong, of course, is from Commando and Soul Man.
So now you don't have a car.
Now I do.
What'd you do with Sully?
I let him go.
Then there is Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, Eric
from
Stoltz.
Anaconda.
From Anaconda.
We're making a documentary on the Shirishama Indians.
The people of the mist?
That's right. You've heard of them?
I've seen them.
Really? You think you could show me where that was?
The people saved my life. This I can do.
Maybe
from Not Back to the Future.
Maybe the most famous face? No.
No. The most famous face.
Dean Cameron.
Dean Cameron.
Summer School. Chainsaw.
Hello, is this your car? Can you feel the love?
The most famous face is Peter Bogdanovich.
Oh, yes.
Who is the older guy who makes all the impressions of the other actors. He makes the impression of
he's
Hitler.
the most famous
of
one.
Hitler.
Somebody put pineapple juice in my pineapple juice. W.C. Fields.
Man, he seems like a weird guy. I wonder what he's like in real life.
He was a very nice guy.
Peter Bogdanovich.
Peter Bogdanovich, the director of The Last Picture Show and What's Up Doc, for instance. He was a lovely man, occasionally completely nuts. Because I remember one day entering the office, I heard somebody yelling from the back, and I raced because I said, "What the hell is happening?" And he was on the phone rehearsing a scene that he was had to do for The Sopranos, and he was yelling on the phone and then just he entered his office again, and then I'll tell him, "What are you doing?" Say, Peter, let me leave a sign on the door that you are.
I am rehearsing a death scene. Yes. Do not rush to my assistance.
But a wonderful, wonderful man, and very curious. If there was a package, he had to open it. It was like a cat. If you put a box, the cat has to jump in it.
Even if it doesn't have his name on it?
Yep. When at the office.
Come on, Mateo, we're going mailbox looting again.
Whatever package was arriving in the office, he would open it. He didn't care what it was, for whom and everything.
So we got Bogdanovich, one of the many people Mateo's worked with in our cast doing celebrity impressions, quite well for the most part.
Yes, but he was also pretty much the official biographer of Alfred Hitchcock.
Hello. I meant to tell you, I very much like your lipstick. It's very red. It reminds me of blood.
Bogdanovich got some anecdotes about Hitchcock, but after Atlantic City in '87, I got some anecdotes about Hitchcock. Thanks, Janine. So, did we leave anyone out of our cast? Because we actually have a kind of like I said, Miles and Felix are just screaming in my face as being known for different
girlfriend. Justine Bateman.
Justine Bateman, sister of.
Yep.
Wait, who was Justine Bateman?
Wait, it's Justin and Justine?
I think so.
That's cute.
What a bunch of fucking assholes. Who would do that to their kids? Also,
I think we covered all the big names in it.
Someone else.
Yes.
But I thought everyone brought a comedic precision.
Well, it was a comedy.
To me, what saved it is that's what I'm saying, is that I always saw the low-budget surroundings, but the way the people were acting, I never felt like, oh, God, like this is an asylum or a fucking RLM movie.
I guess I take back a lot of what I said.
Yeah, you should, man. You're a comedian.
But
honestly, when people actually like Sharks, I feel like it's for the same reason. You might just be watching a couple of idiots run around Burbank at night, but we have
that's just something you tell yourself to feel better about your life.
Yeah.
Everybody was created a very distinct character.
Yes, there's a cadence to everything they spoke.
Yes.
Hey, nice costume.
Didn't we agree that I was gonna go as the lizard?
Yeah, we did, but I couldn't think of anything to be. So at the last minute, I ran out and bought this baby.
Yeah, but didn't we say that I was gonna go as the lizard?
Yeah, we did.
And the thing that I find, but once again, it's just me, because I'm an idiot and I tend to notice these things, which upset me greatly. What killed the movie for me mostly was the editing. There was so much shuffling in sequences where there are characters in the closet and they are immediately outside of the closet, or their conversation.
That was just one, Eric Stoltz.
I was waiting to do it. Thank you very nicely.
Darren was just telling me that he's gay.
Yeah, I never.
At least let me tell him.
Yeah, right? I'm serious.
No, I'm serious.
Hey, it's New Year's, not April Fool's, guys.
Maybe this is a bad idea.
Yes, you could tell what they were kind of going for.
Yes.
But it was too choppy.
There were a lot of that, and once again, probably is the nature of the fact that
you can't turn this off ever again.
Yes. So I find it very discontinued as a flux. But once again, for what?
I'd love to know the actual budget number. Because they said leftover money from his other movie.
Yeah. So no, clearly, once again, as you see, all the shots outside were clearly stolen, just like driving around New York with a camera up on.
Yeah, they probably don't own all those trucks.
No.
Should have said storefronts.
I was thinking about it. Why?
Actually, no, you're right. I thought for some reason it said trucks. It meant they're driving.
You could have said you could make either joke.
Yeah. I will say.
I'll say trucks. You say storefronts.
Having said all this, there were more. Shall I call them? That's funny. Like I remember.
You shall.
I remember all the way back to my New York days. One of the comedians on the Unknown scene being like, "Comedians suck as an audience, man, because like if you do a joke, they'll be like, that's funny. It's like motherfucker laugh," and I always chuckled at that because even being an idiot likes to guffaw. A lot of times on the open mic stand, I'd be like silently in my head, like, "Huh, that's funny." I'm like, I'm sure they would appreciate if you laugh, but this is a lot. This is a lot of those type of laughs. So I will admit, like for instance, I think the high point comedically was the dual lizard suit at Halloween.
I wanted to be at that party in the suit.
There's a scene where they're in that tight little wannabe bar and he's smoking a cigarette.
Having a great time.
Ow! Miles!
And that was a real cackle. So to be
also,
fair
the girl
to you guys,
who was, I guess, really drunk and she's really excited to see
Yeah.
the lizard. So she starts
Yes.
humping him, and then is like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you want to get fed?" You're like, "What is that?"
Lizard hungry! What the fuck is that? Ow! Ow! Goddamn lady!
Also, the candy corn, pouring it down. Like, oh shit, it's in the arm, and then taking the head off.
Ooh, candy corn.
First one to arrive.
Yeah.
Miles.
Ow!
Oh, Miles, watch it.
Damn, this is annoying. Ow!
Did you bring a date, Miles?
Nope.
So, to be fair to your guys' point, there are more to me that's funny or than like actual guffaws. But I always saw what they were doing, and I always
it's visual medium.
So we watched the movie.
But I mean, I always saw the language.
Miles.
The Halloween party with the dual lizards, definitely the high point comedically.
Also, they're kind of like a T-Rex frog.
Yes, they're more. Yes, they're more T-Rexy.
Well, I'm surprised. I was very surprised they said lizard, not dinosaur.
Right.
I didn't expect Godzilla, but I expected
It
dinosaur.
vaguely looks like Quincy from the comic strip Foxtrot.
Okay.
Which is an iguana.
Yes. Oh my God.
But it's an iguana. It's not even a lizard.
Isn't an iguana a lizard?
Yes, but you call it iguana. Not you don't call it lizard.
Good point.
In general.
Good point.
Oh, you know, I think I have two left-handed paws. Do you have one of my paws?
You know, mine have felt weird since I went to the bathroom.
Is it possible? Let me see your right-handed paw.
I can't get my right-handed paw.
Okay, then
off.
give me your left-handed paw.
Okay.
We now return to
MaJaMa. Silly. You look very silly.
I was gonna say I look less like
An idiot.
Well, I guess the next question to ask is if Noah didn't want this release, someone clearly said, hey, there's a name here. The guy became someone. Again, forgive me, I don't know the timeline. But I'm curious, always the question is, if you do something for the cash or attention grab, did it pay off? I'd have to imagine there's a little quote from the AV Club, who I think is the same person doing the interview. We said it, saying Noah Baumbach has basically disavowed one of his funniest films. So I could see there being, again, all the way back to high school, Joe Fakiti told me, like, hey, you want to watch this? I could see this garnering kind of a cult thing. But,
what's Noah Baumbach famous for?
Oh, he's got so many, dude.
He wrote Madagascar 3.
That's a weird time to jump into the trilogy.
I can't. This is
I just didn't really know Marriage Story. That's what blew him.
Oh,
Marriage
that was
Story,
really
Francis
recent,
Ha,
I guess.
Greenberg.
Francis Ha. He did a lot of shorts for Saturday Night Live as a director.
I actually really loved Francis Ha.
I recognize the name.
And even though it's the type of thing that makes Matthew roll his eyes with, like, I'll never go there, I thought Marriage Story deserved all the praise.
Whoa! I'd be into Marriage Story.
Here's what's interesting is that you guys don't like
Very
serious
dismissive of
adult
my intellect,
drama.
which is I understand at a very low level, but you can't just completely write it off.
I don't think you would like
Marriage Story? Yeah.
Why?
Mateo, it took me a while to realize, because I'm like, Mateo's the movie guy, and then eventually I was like, Mateo doesn't give a fuck about Oscar fare. Get the fuck out of here with your stupid, boring dramas about something that happened. I want Flash, I want Razzle Dazzle, I want Cars That Fly and Cocaine Bear. It took me a while to realize that, and I love that about him, but it took me a while just because I thought he was the movie dude. But he doesn't give a fuck about Oscar movies. I was like, do you want to see the Banshees of Inisherin? And he was like, not in theaters. And I was like, that's real. You know?
Is that a real movie?
Yes. No, but the thing that I always like...
Matthew presenting at the Oscars. And Banshees of Inisherin... Is this real? This is a joke
again.
This is a joke.
Guys.
Like La La Land.
No, the beef that I have with the Oscars is always that they claim that is movies celebrating movies.
It's not.
And no, it's just like a pretentious thing that it's absolutely that ignores what real movies are.
Ignored Nope.
Ignore Nope.
Not a single nomination for Nope. They said, Jordan, we gave you it for your first one. Get the fuck out of here. That's all you get, kid.
And it's or you go way back to 1939 when Hattie McDaniel, the first African American actress to win an Oscar for Gone with the Wind, she was at a segregated table.
I shall always be a credit to my race and to the motion picture industry. My heart is too full to tell you just how I feel. And may I say thank you and God bless you.
Was everyone else white?
Pretty much, yes.
All right, I guess that makes sense.
Back then, in 1939, everybody was tweeting "Oscar so white." They had Twitter that they had to wind it up. It was a very old version of Twitter. But it's how it's possible that the Oscar
people are dumb.
Is one thing that I cannot square. I understand the production effort, but how can a movie like Gandhi beat a movie like E.T.? E.T. is everything the movies are. It has a compelling story, compelling character, special effects, the music and everything. Gandhi,
and the most important element that Gandhi doesn't have.
Pizza.
Carlo Rambaldi, motherfucker!
Yes. But that is the thing that annoys me, that eventually, not eventually, that the Oscars are, they just go with awarding performances that they're great, they're valid, but a lot of people don't see them.
They don't give a fuck what normal people enjoy. They don't give a fuck what normal people enjoy.
They don't give a fuck about movies because a lot of the movies that they reward don't fill the theaters. Spielberg was right when he said that Tom Cruise single-handedly saved the movies with Top Gun because he brought people back to the theaters.
You know why? Because he insisted on no fucking streaming. He
Yes.
said no streaming,
Yes.
and look what fucking happened.
Yes.
No. Oh, no.
So if the Oscars were correct, they should
nominate Terrifier 2 because of the impact
Yeah,
of
for
that
instance,
last
yes,
fall.
they should keep a horror.
It means nothing to them that
No.
fucking movie that cost $250,000 made over $11 million in theaters because people were excited as hell to see a new horror. It means nothing. They're disgusted by it. It's a joke, and they are every bit as snobbish, old, white, crusty fucks as you think they are. Seriously, fuck you guys for completely shafting Nope, and fuck you guys again. Now, back to Noah Baumbach.
Yes.
Did he do a lot of stuff for NSO? I didn't know that. I think I mainly became aware of him because of his white dramedies, which I liked. But
I think that he was mostly making the shorts.
He does seem very Woody Allen and...
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
The suit makes me think of like
no, but the
well-read comedy nerd.
The style is this the tragic comedy that is classic by Woody Allen. That in the same speech or in the same scene, it could change the value from comedy to drama to back to comedy, and it's just.
Yeah.
I honestly would love to see or have seen this movie made
to its full potential.
Yes, with the time, because I was thinking about it. The only scene that has a couple of close-ups just to break it is the very first scene in bed. They are talking. She's reading Simone de Beauvoir. He's reading Into Thin Air, I think, and there are a couple of what?
You knew what the reference was. You knew how to pronounce it.
Sorry.
I read the words Into Thin Air.
Okay.
So did I. I saw what that one book cover said.
But there are the two close-ups that breaks the white shot. But other than that, in the whole movie, every single scene is just like a setup, and there are no, which is, again, and we go back to movies like Singing in the Rain or the classic from the 50s. If everybody is just like it becomes almost a ballet. Whereas here sometimes you have pauses, and you notice that in a wide shot with no.
Haven't you ever not paid a bill?
I hardly think it's the same thing.
Oh, believe me, it's the same. It's not like I ever met the kid. You know, all I got is some blurry black and white photo. I'm convinced they're stock photos. Probably thousands of people in the United States looking at the same picture of little Joaquin.
You don't really mean all that.
Well, I might, but for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to say that I don't.
Fuck me.
What?
But not without their own different moving ballet.
Yeah, sometimes it has the poignancy and a meaning, but
dude, this movie is a perfect example of there's something about cutting at the right moment. And this movie is a smorgasbord of it. Is that it's the little thing, like for instance, let me go to Cocaine Bear because it's the one joke we're obsessing over. They're at the bar together. He's eating penne. Ice Cube orders it. He turns to him, his friend who's sad, and says, "Does it come with like chicken in it?" He goes, "No, it's just plain." Cut. If it's no, it's just plain with a little bit of a beat before we draw out of the bar. It's not the same.
Can I get the penne, please? Does it come with chicken or is it just?
It's just plain.
And I feel like this movie of A, B, cut, again, not always, yeah, it could be, but like when it works, it's so beautiful. Like just the little asides are like, do this, and you cut, and it just gives that perfect little it comes to life because of where it's cut.
It's like the expert cut in of the ironically titled "The Chopping Mall" of the guy who says more butter. It's exquisitely cut.
Come on, take it while it's hot. While it's hot. Girls, come on.
Yeah, all right.
Waitress, more butter.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
Everybody feeling it's Felix's birthday.
We should probably mention that not on the cover of the Blu-ray, but on the movie, our credits.
Blu-ray?
Yes.
I just noticed that.
Our credits come up in what is to some a very recognizable font, and that font is none other than the one used on Tommy Wiseau's iconic disaster piece, The Room.
Let's bring in the font.
Look at the font side by side. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Here.
We should have the font on as a guest sometime.
You know that I will not do it. It'll be just like doing this for nothing.
Ghost boobs.
And look, so I don't look dumb going like this. Mateo will edit this font here and this font here. And I totally won't look stupid like I'm staring into the camera with my hands up. Mateo will edit this font here and this font here. And I totally won't look stupid like I'm staring into the camera with my hands up.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit is right.
So we mentioned the backstory, we mentioned our cast, we mentioned kind of how it breaks down, we mentioned some of our favorite scenes.
Don't do that. Makes you think like you're thinking about the show out loud.
What's the point of the show? They're live here with us.
Shut the fuck
our
up.
friends are in the living room with us on the couch,
You don't have
enjoying
any
us
friends.
ramble out. More than you do.
Well, that's a given.
Did anyone have any favorite characters?
I like the lizard costume. I like Miles.
Yeah.
And I like
kind of always desperate to fit in type.
Felix when he got brain surgery.
Oh, when he was all stoic on the couch.
I like Peter Bogdanovich because he makes me laugh, and I like Miles' working partner.
He's from something.
Fletcher?
Yes.
The two lizard guys.
Yes. But I genuinely, which is also a very nice compliment to the story, I like it because there is nobody's a standout. They're all...
it's a genuine ensemble cast.
It's a genuine ensemble cast of people that mostly you don't like. Because they're
Everyone's just subpar across the board.
No, but it's...
Man? What's this joke?
Oh.
I was more just thinking that anytime someone's like, I don't really like these characters, I'm always like, I don't have any problem with them. Not just you, but like literally anyone. People are always saying that.
I'm saying the characters are not created in a way that you have to like them. They're just like it's
You're
a slice.
there to observe.
It's a slice of life. You're the fly on the wall of seeing these bizarre people.
Did you vote?
Why did I vote green?
What the hell are you doing? Oh, damn it. Darian!
Green occasionally.
Darian, I was calling you.
I really don't see any difference between Democrats.
But I did.
I like Travis a lot. I think you
did.
just sometimes the Seinfeld theory where you get the shaft because you're the main star. But
Actually, I love Travis.
I like a lot of the lines.
Almost like Clark Griswold. Very much a Clark Griswold. Trying to set up the homemade New Year's ball.
Okay.
Yeah, but Clark Griswold is more happy-go-lucky. Everything is going his way, no matter what.
No, I mean Clark Griswold gets shit on the whole time.
Yeah, but
he
but
remains
he's trying-
optimism. But
I like that he's trying to make the birthday nice for his friend. He's trying to make the ball drop.
I'm sorry, you able to mention a specific line?
Him saying, "You think I'm gay?" I brought the
Yeah,
box spring.
that
up
was
when
one of
we
the
moved.
true
I brought the
guffaws
box spring up
for me.
Travis, I hardly think strength is any indication of whether someone's gay or not.
Well, apparently you think so. What, am I gay?
Yes, Travis, you're gay.
You know that's not true. When we moved in here, who brought up the box spring?
Why does this always come back to moving?
Who brought up the box spring?
No throw. I brought the box spring up. The whole lizard.
Also, I like the lizard when Miles is reenacting the scene from
Yes.
Oh my God!
Something.
Thank you.
And Ray Don Chong walks
away and he keeps going.
You mind if I ask you a question about one of our national treasures, Marlon Brando? I don't know if you recall, but one of Brando's earlier movies placed Marlon on a ship of war. Marlon, the captain of the ship, using all of his acting skills. And I understand that he liked to put notes around the set because he didn't like to memorize lines. Anyway, it was a stormy night.
My favorite joke in the movie was that.
That scene clearly an homage, and I'm surprised that you didn't blurt it out. I hit my microphone.
I think it's pronounced homage.
Yes, a homage, and I'm surprised that you didn't blurt it out as soon as you saw it. But it's very reminiscent of Jerry Lewis and The Nutty Professor.
By the way, we don't wear glasses at big tennis.
Oh, well, fine. Then I'll just take these off. I didn't realize that you're not supposed to, there's nowhere really that I have to. Is there some place that I could put the...
Would you like me to put these in a locker for you?
Well, I certainly would appreciate that. You're very kind. I would have put them there had I known that there was some form of restriction. Some people use them for a facade. I wear them for eyes. You see, for eyes, it's a play on eyes. Huh. Well, I hope I did nothing wrong by wearing them. You see, I just didn't realize. If we could get started, I do have a class, and I do have to get going.
Come along with me.
Wonderful.
That, and I also noticed when Felix is eating the saltine or whatever it is, this crunching, that he makes a crunch and then another crunch, and then eventually asks for some water. But he is very self-conscious on the couch.
Oh, yes.
That he's
I think it's Toffee.
Toffee. That he's very self-conscious of the sound that he makes. There is a very similar scene in The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes with Kurt Russell. It's a Disney movie.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Remade with Kirk Cameron, I think. Also.
What?
For television, yes. A few decades back.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Riley, please.
We now return to
MaJaMa.
Here you go. Take some of this juice
champagne in there?
You want another drink? Go on. I'll wait.
Are you gonna take your coat off?
I don't know.
Are you warm?
I'm fine. Why?
You're sort of hot.
Take your coat off.
Are you taking yours off?
Not now, no.
Kind of feels anything we didn't mention. I think we got most of the things.
The walls very blue.
The walls were very
Yes.
blue. Again, I feel like similar to our convenience store in Clerks, the apartment was a character. And I will say, beyond the fact that most things are probably what we had available.
That kitchen was weird.
The low budget apartment absolutely works for what they're going for. If it was
Yes.
higher end, it's not like you said.
No.
These are a bunch of friends who have a little apartment. They all gather together. There's just enough room.
And yes, and he made the apartment work in his favor because, of course, due to the nature of the apartment, you cannot put the camera where you want. If you're in a real apartment, you can't tear down a wall just to do a shot. So that's why there were these master shots and nothing much, because you really don't have the room to do whatever you're hoping to do. Because the vision is one thing, and when you are realizing, especially in a real ambiance, and say, oh,
shit.
Exactly.
Shit. I feel like we're
okay
at wrap up.
That's fine.
So I will start because I'm enthusiastic about this.
You can't start in the middle.
I'm going to. I'm the host.
Well then, you're looking for paper?
I'm going to go with 1 and 1.5.
Damn.
I was going to do 2.
Wait, are you going to 1.5?
I was going to do...
It was a callback.
Okay. To my hilarious editing joke.
Yes.
Little editing humor for you.
I hope you'll cut it.
I'm working on a joke about editing for my stand-up set. I hope it'll cut it. I like it. Let's use it. Put it in the script right
Quick.
now.
TM.
I was going to go 2, but that's because you guys. And I was like, maybe I'll give a little nod to like the shoddy nature. But no,
we are
Jason,
that's true,
the comedy student, was very excited by this. And I felt like I learned a lot about what you can do with control of your actors and a tight script. Again, Mateo is correct that the pacing verbally is far slower than a Kevin Smith film. Far, far slower. But I think both have overcome meager environments and budgets by being in control of your dialogue. And I liked it in high school. I liked it now. I don't know. I thought it was a great lesson comedically.
What are you talking about?
Will you like it 20 years from now?
That rhymed.
Come back.
Oh no,
in
that
20
rhymed
years.
now.
So the comedy student in me is going to give it 1.5, and I was very
constipated,
enthralled by it. I was genuinely excited by it. It's a nice example of what you can do with a tight sense of control of your comedy.
I don't know what to do.
Okay, I'll go.
What do you think? Who's he gonna give it?
I don't know.
I'll go with 2.5.
You shouldn't bet like this.
It's fun with him.
It's unladylike.
I'll go 2.5 because of what I said before. I find completely redundant to re-say what I said throughout the whole.
This whole voting process is very redundant.
Yes.
Especially from you.
Mateo doesn't like.
So all you was
He's always been about the
listen to your
visual.
fucking.
Yeah.
What?
It's always been about the visual. It's been a big lesson for me.
What did you vote? 3.5.
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
Wow. Should I change my vote based on what you guys did?
No. Vote as your heart
We're not visual
tells
people.
you.
We enjoy visions.
That's been a big lesson of being Mateo's friend.
But we don't.
We don't think in that way
visions,
at all.
no.
Still to this day, it's a flaw. We don't think
And
in that way.
it's very ironic because I hate myself, and every single time I see myself, the only thing that I think is I wish I had not a visual on that. But unfortunately, I have to. And when I'm editing this thing, you have no idea how many chops on me.
You're never seen.
Exactly.
You can't get away from yourself.
You'll never. I know.
This is the idea of Mateo sitting here alone, editing, just furious about his own visage.
Oh, you have no idea. I'm just like when I talk, I say I yell at the screen, "Shut up!" And it's me.
A little bit of info about my soul for our viewers out there. I don't actually believe self-hate. It's a naive problem I have. I know Mateo means it, but inside I'm like, no one actually feels that way.
Don't worry.
What are you, a fucking idiot?
You too. I can't. It's hard to believe you actually don't like yourself.
YouTube.
You too. You know, I guess I really am a naive idiot.
Yes.
Like, genuinely. You know?
Okay.
It's tough to believe you guys would actually hate yourselves. I still don't believe it as I'm saying it. What's your vote, you dumb cocksucking piece of shit?
A 3.
3. 3.
That's fair. Yeah. Well...
Should I change it?
No.
I'm going to go with 3.
That seems very fair to what you were expressing about it.
Yeah. Maybe I would change it if I hadn't thrown it already. But
now it's all the way over there.
I'm going to go with 3. But there were some cozy moments, keeping everything encapsulated inside the apartment. I was almost scared that when they cut from the first party, they were going to go to the outside world.
And you wouldn't want that.
And I didn't want that.
Yeah.
So...
You know what? I would venture to say, based on what you guys have said, that if Noah took this and redid it, like, say, to peak he wanted it to, I think you guys might be chucking a lot less.
Well, yeah. But it's... What is it about?
I don't agree with that at all.
I mean, you can always say something's about something, but what is it about?
No, I don't agree with that.
I would love even
It's
more.
not a question, not a statement. I mean, it is a statement.
MaJaMa.
Even more than a complete movie, I would love to see it as a stage play.
Yeah, but not actually watch it, because...
That's who said on it like 20 episodes ago. She just said on it.
Shit.
It's your fucking phone.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is it my phone? I mean, this was my phone, yes.
Because
but
it's
why was he on it from episode... my phone.
Officer, why is it my butcher knife you're focusing on going into her stomach? He stabbed her too. I'm the only one being looked at. We should point out that there is, as Mateo said, almost as fucking long as the movie, 75-minute making of doc.
I mean, what are you going to say?
Hey!
It's a joke.
With
it's a joke.
This
I'm not being
is,
dismissive of art.
I'd be genuinely
I'm cultured.
That's
you
so
could
lovely.
read a book with a fucking gun to your head.
So lovely to edit to these moments with the audio peak.
All right. So...
Next time, put the microphone in your navel.
This was Highball, and it was a pretty great look into Noah Baumbach's early years before he was making white noise.
Who's Greta Gerwig?
She is who will be... Oh, actually, she and Noah be co-writing and she directing the Barbie movie.
Yes.
Which I'm very excited about. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another fucking jam. I'm here with the fellas, the Italian and my homosexual brother, and me, the dumb loudmouth. If you're with us this far, as usual, drop a comment that just comes down to Paulo. We love you to death, you and your stuffed sharks. And we will be back next week with an all-new MaJaMa Jam!
Maybe. But we can't forget our catchphrase.
I can't even breathe properly anymore.
Exactly. Classic Matthew.
MaJaMa.
And now, a behind-the-scene look at the editing of the show, through the 5 phases of grief. Denial.
There's a movie that looks like a movie and sounds like a movie, and there's
No, you can't say that.
Anger.
Shut up! 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 Shut.
Bargaining.
Please, don't say that anymore. Don't say it. For one time, don't. I'll do anything you want.
Depression. Acceptance.